up, YouTube? It's your boy Double A 9 Skills, not back with another rebuild. You guys have been absolutely loving this series. We've done Juve, Liverpool, Manchester United, now Man City and Arsenal. Every single one has a stupid amount of thumbs up, a crazy amount of views. You guys are absolutely loving the rebuilds. Today we're doing Man City. You can't really rebuild Man City. Too many good players, too beastly of a team. But what you can do is get them the one thing they do need. I have 4 seasons, 1 episode to win the Champions League. If you don't know what this series is, we buy players, we simulate every season, and I gotta find a way to buy the right players to make the team win the Champions League. Premier League doesn't matter. Success for this badge is only the Champions League. We've seen they could do the Premier League. With that being said, in today's episode, you guys are gonna watch me sign a lot of players that are actually rumored with Man City already this year, and I'm gonna try to do it with them. With that being said, if you guys like this series, let's smash a big old thumbs up. And before we jump into it, in the comments down below, who's next? Atletico Madrid, Barca, Bayern, Dortmund, it doesn't matter, any team. It could be any team around the world. Smash a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments down below who's next. And with the team, when you put like Dortmund, put who you want me to sign. With that being said, sit back, relax. You guys wanted the Man City, and now I'm gonna deliver. Let's see how long it takes for them to win the Champions League and get that success. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Let's get it. So most likely somewhere in the intro, I told you guys that this is probably gonna be the easiest rebuild we have ever done. Literally the easiest. And now I've been sitting here for about 10 to 15 minutes staring at the starting 11, and I say to myself, damn, this most likely is gonna be one of the hardest rebuilds we've ever had to do. And you're probably saying, Skills, are you absolutely crazy? Have you lost it? How could this be hard for you? Well, as I look at this team, I try to make sense of it all, right? Because Guardiola just brought in Mahrez, who's a right-midded player, or could play the right-wing position, and he's pretty good. I think he could play the cam position as well, right? So now you have Bernardo Silva that could play the right-wing position, Sterling and Mahrez. On this side, you have Leroy Sané, and that's really all you got going down the left-wing side, but I pretty much look at this team and I think to myself, the best way for this team to line up is probably in a 3-back. That way you can get David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, you can get Sterling, Agüero, Leroy Sané, and you could probably fit Bernardo Silva out there all at the same time. Although I absolutely think, I'm not no coach, I'm not Guardiola, but from what I've witnessed of Bernardo Silva playing at Benfica, the little he did, watching him playing the under like 21s Portuguese teams and a lot of Monaco, I think this guy is unbelievable down the middle and absolutely sucks on the wings. During the World Cup, he was terrible on the wings. The last game, they put him, you know, when they're losing to Uruguay, they put him at the cam position for the second half. They played unbelievable when he was at the cam position. So I think he needs to be at the cam position. But how the hell do you put him at the cam position when you own Kevin De Bruyne? So now all of a sudden you're looking at a team that's just stacked full of players and you don't even know what to do. Their weakest positions, I'm saying the left back position, not because Mendy's bad, but because due to injury we didn't get to see him play loads. In the middle you have Otamendi, who's chill, Laporte, who's awesome, and you got company, but I still think you still need another rock of a center back. And that rock of a center back was supposed to be the expensive man Stones, but I don't really know if that's your rock of a center back. So now all of a sudden I look at this team and I say, damn, what do we do? For the sake of the rebuild, I'm going to do it in a 4-3-3 attacking. Why? Because there's 2 other players that they are extremely interested in. Now, when I sign these 2 other players, somebody's going to have to sit. Fernandinho, David Silva, or Kevin De Bruyne. And I'm just like, damn. Also, Gabriel Jesus has to sit as well because Agüero's too beastly and I want to run 2 strikers. But for me to run 2 strikers, Sterling and Sané could start. But then all of a sudden, it's only Fernandinho and maybe Kevin De Bruyne. And then there's no David Silva. So it's just a mess. But let me show you the 2 players that Man City are interested in. And this is actually rumors in real life. Now, the first guy that Guardiola is interested in, I mean, it makes sense. He coached him when he was at Barcelona. The problem is to bring this guy in, we're going to have to pay a stupid amount of money. His name is Thiago. And he's unbelievable, right? He's a great player. He left Barcelona, went to Bayern, and now he's just a top-tier center mid. I don't even know exactly where to begin with offering for him. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm thinking to myself, maybe we give up. Do we give up a Gundogan to get him? Because during this rebuild, David Silva, Fernandinho, and I might give up a Gundogan. That would be crazy, but I actually might. And there's a reason why I might give him up, because there's another guy that they're very interested in that I'm about to bring in for the same position. So let me see. Let me just see. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen. They want to. What do they say there? I think they want a left wing. They want a left-winged player. I'm not giving up Leroy Sané. You lost your mind. So instead, I'm just gonna step in with an offer of 80 million. An offer of 80 million, a good sell-on clause. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2018-2019 crazy market we're in. And of course, 108 doesn't even surprise me for a player like Thiago. Let's just be honest, this market is absolutely mind-blowing. The fact that I'm about to offer 90 million for Thiago kind of should let you know how crazy this market really is. They go to 104. I'm trying to keep it under 100. I'm going to try to get 95 here, maybe. Again, this is someone that's extremely heavily linked with Man City in real life. Would you ever give 104 for Thiago? I would say absolutely not. No way in hell. But with the way this market is, maybe that's just how it's going to have to play out. I legit want to keep it under 100. I offer 99. They are stuck, bro. They are stuck on 104. Yo, quit playing games with me, Bayern. Give them to me for 100 then. Flat, let's get it. Yo, that's a fair offer. 100 million for Thiago. All right, so this is not going to be as expensive, at least I hope. But, man, Kovacic is extremely heavily linked with the move out of Real Madrid. And Man City could be the runners up for him from what I've been reading. I'm going to try to offer it, kind of lowball them in the beginning with a 35 mil offer and give them a really big sell-on clause. Let's see what they say. They want 45. But again, at this point, that's already a chill offer compared to Thiago's 100 million. But when you really do sit down and look at this team, I mean, that 100 million could be winning the Champions League, right? That could be the difference. I offer 41. Zidane says we're happy to accept. And now all of a sudden, Thiago could be on his way, and Kovacic, if we want both of them or maybe just one of them. Let's see if they accept. We get an offer in from Barcelona for Otamendi, and it's an offer of 32 million. Is that what they're offering? No, 31 million. We want anywhere from 32 to 47. I'm going to negotiate. At 29 years old, if I can get 47 to 50 million, I'll be willing to let him go. But it's got to be in the high 40s, man. At least 46 million right now, Barca. They say 38. I'm not willing to part ways at 38 because I don't think I can replace him for that. We'll try again. I can get younger here if they accept it. They say 41. Otamendi is a good player, but I can easily replace him with a pretty chill center back, and they say no. I probably should have ran with the 41 million, replaced them with the younger center back, but everybody else is stingy, so I'm going to be stingy as well. So do we bring in the $100 man, or do we bring in Kovacic for much cheaper? An 88 overall, or a player that has a lot of potential? Someone that's developed, or someone that hasn't really played a full season for a massive European team, but could be the difference at a massive European team? I think I'm going to bite the bullet and give Guardiola the player he seems to really like for 100 million. I think it's absolutely mad, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new day and age market. We just paid 100 million for Thiago. And now here's that really stupid question, right? Who do you bench? Your team is so stacked that what do you do? And all I can really see is benching David Silva. So you bench David Silva. Now you have Thiago, Fernandinho, Kevin De Bruyne, my men Sterling, Sane, and Aguero. But still, your defense needs a little bit of help. Manchester United have stepped in and they want Fernandinho. And it's interesting, right? Because Fernandinho is 32 years old. And they offered 23, and we want anywhere from 18 to 27. It's Manchester United, right? So I'm gonna make them overpay. But I'm gonna try to get 30 million. If they give me 30 million, I'll legit sell him. I will legit sell him for 30 million simply because of his age, and I know he can be replaced. So I offer 30, and they say we don't want the negotiation to fall through, and they accept it. So now Fernandinho could be on his way to Manchester United, which now means I gotta replace Fernandinho. I'm back in the office with Kovacic, and you're probably like, wait, why? I got to be back in the office with Kovacic. Obviously, the deal ran out that I had with him at first. Like, we got it all done, and it ran out simply because I ended up signing Thiago. But now I'm back in the market for a CM, and it's simply because we lost Fernandinho. So now we lose Fernandinho, who's and obviously a great overall to Man City for 30 million. But now with 15 million more, we bring in a very young, with a massive amount of potential young man, bro. The big boy Kovacic. As long as he accepts, he could be on his way. Kovacic has accepted, so I will be replacing Fernandinho with the Real Madrid Kovacic. 23 years young, 82 overall. Obviously, a few seasons from now, he'll be just as good of an overall as Fernandinho is. So I'm pretty excited with that Kovacic signing, especially for the fact that in real life, they're chasing him down as well. In real life, they actually want to make that happen. So now it's Thiago and Kovacic, the two guys that we bring in. For my boy Kevin De Bruyne, Agüero, Sterling, and Sane. And again, losing Fernandinho in real life, I probably wouldn't do it. He's so important, that CDM role, that beastly win the ball back. But in FIFA, with his aging and how much money we'll lose on him going going forward, I just felt like that's the right move. Still, this defense doesn't look good. I feel like I'm rolling with it. I feel like this is the move. I feel like it's going to be Kompany, Otamendi, Walker, Ederson, and Mendy. Thiago and Kovacic, I brought them in because Man City is linked with both of them in real life. Kevin De Bruyne obviously has to be a starter. Sterling, starter. Agüero, the beast. Sane, a starter. And then that leaves Gabriel Jesus, Laporte, and David Silva, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Gundogan, and Bravo on the bench. I mean, honestly, bro, it's a lot of great players on the bench, but you can only start 11 at a time. You know how these career mode rebuilds go down. I'm going to catch you guys back here on January 25th, 2019 to see how Man City is doing, not only in the Premier League, but in the Champions League as well. And remember, these picks I made, these weren't really even on me. The only thing I did that's not happening in real life is the fact that I sold Fernandinho so I could afford Kovacic. But besides that, bro, every move I've made is moves that Man City is actually linked with in real life. Their team is mad. Let's see how they get on the first half of the season. January 25 is here, and as you guys can see, 2018, we just played Arsenal. And I want to say that because usually the FA Cup is 2 legs, right? So the United game right there is probably the FA Cup, and the Arsenal game is probably the other cup, you know, the Capital One, they used to call it. And I'm pretty sure we advanced because we're right here, I would say. Oh, no. So it looks like we're still in the FA Cup. Let's see how this played out. So we played Manchester United and we lost 1-0. And then the first leg, we won 3-2. So I'm not sure who went through on penalties there or if it's away goals that matter. We'll find that out ASAP. And then against Arsenal, they won 5-1 and then a 2-2 draw. And the last game in the league, they won 1-0 against Newcastle. Let's see how it's all looking for Man City. Are they top of the table? Are they out of the Champions League? Do they advance in the Champions League? Here we go. So we're still alive in the FA Cup, knocking out Arsenal. And we also knocked out Man City either on away goals or on penalties. You'll have to let me know in the comments down below, but I want to say it was away goals. I could be wrong. We're in the final of this competition. So there you go. First big news is the final. Then the Champions League. Are we here? I see us. And we're taking on Barcelona in the round of 16. Some big games. Benfica going up against Bayern. Celtic going up against Real Madrid. Barcelona, Manchester City. Chelsea versus PSG, Monaco versus Spurs, Atleti Madrid versus Porto, Juve versus Sevilla, and Dortmund against Napoli. Some massive games in the Champions League. Europa League not set yet. Top of the table, tied on points with Chelsea, but a game in hand is Man City. This is massive. And look at Arsenal. They're chucking along, baby. But City and Chelsea are really, really pushing hard here. It's going to be a tough race until the end. I cannot wait to see what happens. I want to show you guys the top goal scorers. Top goal scorer in this competition, the FA Cup, is Agüero. Top goal scorer in the other competition is, well, it's not even, wow, we don't even have nobody. Oh, there we go. Kevin De Bruyne with 3, down in 6th. In the Champions League, my boy Mahrez off the bench. Mahrez off the bench doing Mahrez type things, I guess. He got 6. And then also, Kevin De Bruyne has 7. Look at Gareth Bale, bro. Gareth Bale doing all right for himself. Well done, Gareth Bale. Europa League, it's Immobile. And in the Premier League, it's Mane with 15, Kevin De Bruyne with 10, and then Eriksen with 9. Crazy. A massive offer comes in for Agüero, 75 million. 75 million for Agüero. That's a lot of money Chelsea is willing to pay for the 29-year-old. You know what? I'm never going to get away from any deal, bro. I'm going to sit down with them and see if I can finesse more. The problem here is that I want 125. I want 125 million, Chelsea. 125. They say 77. I'm not even, if I paid that much, if we paid that much for Thiago, you might as well just leave you might as well just leave my office, brother. I mean, the league is going pretty good. The Champions League is all right. We haven't been eliminated in any competition. So I'm sitting here saying to myself, do I even touch it? Does Guardiola have it right with Sterling and Aguero and Sané and Kevin De Bruyne, and with him wanting Kovacic and Thiago? Is that the right moves to give them the Champions League? Man, I don't know. It could be the right moves. I'm going to let it play out. I'm not going to make any moves in the transfer window. What I'm going to do is go ahead and get us to the Barcelona game and see if City can knock off Barcelona. That's going to be a very, very tough one. Game 1 is on February 14, the round of 16 begins. I'll see you there. This is it, right? This is the big moment of truth, man. Barcelona is the team to beat when it comes to like big European competitions. Barcelona, Real Madrid, they're the big ones. They're the ones that, you know, if you can knock them out, you're going pretty damn far. The lineup, pretty much the same. Ederson, Walker, Company, Otamendi, Mendy, Thiago, Kevin De Bruyne, Sterling, Aguero, and Sané. Remember, Mahrez, the top goal scorer in the Champions League, on the bench. Who else did I forget? Kovacic, my man Kovacic in the lineup as well. And then you see Barca. Walker hits the back of the net, but Suarez hits right back. But that is a away goal for Man City in Spain. They got Nelson Smith, Ter Stegen, Titi Piqué, Jordi Alba. My man Messi just got injured. Suarez, Felipe Coutinho, Sergio Busquets, my man Rakitic, Dembele. That's their starting 11. Zaha off the bench gives them a goal. Came in for Messi, but then Bernardo Silva, or no, that's David Silva, right? Is that David or Bernardo? I think that's David Silva. David Silva's 21 and Bernardo Silva's 20, right? Or is it the other way around? One of the Silvas off the bench to get the second away goal for Man City. That's massive. A clean sheet at home in Manchester, and all of a sudden Barcelona's eliminated. Hopefully, for the sake of this video, that's an injury that keeps what's his name out of the second leg. We don't want to face Messi, but I do want to confirm to you guys real quick whether that was Bernardo Silva or David Silva who scored. I want to say it was 21 who scored, right? It was number 21 who scored. I believe so. It was David Silva. Big boy David Silva came in off the bench and scored a massive goal. All right, so we got to go ahead and show you a few games. For example, this Chelsea game is massive because you guys know how close Man City and Chelsea are on the table. And also, this right here is the final. So I'm going to let you guys watch the Chelsea game, watch the Wolves game, and then we'll jump into the Barca game. As you can see, 62 points for Man City, 57 for Chelsea. So with a win here today, that could really make sure, like, pretty much put the stamp on the league. I mean, it's too early to say it's over, but we're going up against Morata, Willian, Hazard, Kanté, Bakayoko, Emerson, Azpilicueta, David Luiz, Cahill, Moses, and Courtois. Courtois could be on his way to Real Madrid from all the rumors I'm hearing out there. Leroy Sané found the back of the net. Big boy Thiago, the Spanish man from Bayern, the $100 million man, comes in, scores the pen. Aguero hits another one. Emerson seats a red card. And ladies and gentlemen, Man City go even further ahead in the Premier League. Like I said, I thought this would be easy. I thought this would be an easy rebuild. Everybody wanted to see it, but I didn't think it would be. The one thing that was hard about it was finding the right starting 11 to start. Massive final, the first like big official final. This is it, right? A lot of people don't care about this competition in England. I care about this competition in England. We're going up against Jota, and Wolves are having a crazy, like even in FIFA, they're having a great time, aren't they? The boy, Kevin De Bruyne hits an 11-minute, Kevin De Bruyne, let me say his name properly, hits an 11-minute goal. My man, Leroy Sané, finds a 45th minute cheese goal. My boy from Benfica found the goal in the 54th minute for them, but then Kevin De Bruyne found another, and then Leroy Sané, 2 for Kevin De Bruyne, 2 for Leroy Sané. Not only are we winning, but we are dominating every game we play. The first silverware goes to Man City. The first silverware of the season goes to Man City. Let's jump in to the Barca game. Remember that it ended 2-2 in Spain, 2-2 in Barca. All right, which means a clean sheet, Man City advances, or any type of win, Man City would advance as well. Leroy Sané, 7 minutes in, scores. Danny Welbeck playing for Barcelona he's replacing Messi on top of that. Suarez, Welbeck, Felipe Coutinho. Stop laughing because Suarez just found a away goal. One more goal for Barca, we would be eliminated. Thiago hits the back of the net against his old team. Thiago could be eliminating Barcelona. Could it happen? Is it? Yes, indeedy. Don't be greedy. Barcelona out of the Champions League. Messi clearly got injured in the first leg, couldn't play the second leg, and Thiago returns going up against his old team, Barcelona, and finds a way to eliminate them. Leroy Sané and Thiago score. Suarez's goal wasn't enough. We're off to the next round. One more game for y'all, man. I know I never really show this many games for you, but right now, this is what the quarterfinals or the semifinals of the FA Cup. It's against Spurs, against Kane, Eriksen, Sonaldo, Lucas, Dyer, Nainggolan. Whoa, big signing. Davis, you know what's crazy is that in most of the rebuilds I do, this is the team to beat right here. Spurs dominates the Premier League. You know, over like the next 3-4 years, because their team is so young, they become so good. And as you can see, Kevin De Bruyne misses a penalty in the 62nd minute. And in the 80th minute, if we don't find a goal, I'm not sure if there's another leg, but Agüero hits the back of the net. It's going into extra time. This is one leg. Leroy Sané finds the back of the net. Agüero saves the day in the 83rd. Leroy Sané gives the lead in the 92nd. And Spurs are eliminated from the FA Cup due to a late equalizer from my man Agüero, and then Leroy Sané putting the team on his back. So somehow, some way, the old lady Juve always makes it deep into these rebuilds. Now, I do gotta tell you that this is the Juve without CR7. There is no CR7 on Juve at the moment. It's not that updated, but we'll be taking on Di Maria, who it looks like went to Juve. Higuain, I guess they're trying to put together the Argentinian national team. We had an injury. Leroy Sané, Agüero, Sterling. Who got injured? I guess it wasn't a starting 11 player, was it? Yeah, it was. No, it wasn't. Who was it? Maybe somebody on the bench. But as you can see, Benatia gets injured for them. It seems like every team we play in the Champions League, they get an injury in the first leg. Benatia goes out. They have Douglas Costa, Higuain, Di Maria, Dybala, Mutuidi. Oh my goodness. That is Bernardo Silva this time, isn't it? Big boy Bernardo Silva, the Portuguese man from Benfica. And Benfica didn't even play this man. They brought him up in the academy. They barely play him. They just made a check on him right away. They got paid. But anyways, bros, he comes in and he scores a late goal in the 87th minute to give Man City that late goal in Italy, which is an away goal. Let's get it. Can we get it done? I know Real Madrid, Chelsea, Bayern, they're all still alive in the Champions League. We got that away goal, which is big, but Higuain, Douglas Costa, and Dybala, I just feel like they could score at any moment. But Thiago, the $100 million man, what gave the goal that knocked out Barcelona, and now gives a goal that could really eliminate this Juve team. Another one for Thiago. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2 games, probably the most important Champions League games against Barca and against Juve. I mean, Thiago comes up absolutely humongous. It's mental how good this man is playing in the back end of the season. But again, Bernardo Silva, I believe, right? He's the one that rocks 20. He finds another goal as well. So up next is Atleti Madrid in the semifinals. We win this and we're off to the final of the Champions League. But there was a big game, and the big game was the semifinals of the FA Cup against the big rivals United. Now, the Manchester Derby. Who won it? A loss to Man City, which means a loss to Man U. Man U gonna advance to the final of the FA Cup. So the first competition that we lose is the FA Cup, and we lose it to Man U. You know that's gonna sting to the Man City fans, but hey, shout out to United. They're going to the final of the FA Cup. So this lineup is completely different. Leroy Sané, Agüero, Sterling, Kevin De Bruyne, Thiago, Kovacic, Mendy, Stones, Laporte, Walker, and Ederson. My 2 back line, my 2 center backs are completely different. On the other side, it's the typical beastly and feastly defense of Atletico Madrid, Jimenez and Godin and Felipe Luis. It's a beast defense. Every game we've gotten an away goal. Griezmann scores a penalty. Every game against Barca, against Juve, we've also always gotten that big away goal, but it looks like we're walking out of here. Oh, Kovacic! Kovacic played for Real Madrid once a day. He knows all about Madrid. He goes to Atletico Madrid and he scores an away goal in pretty much the 90th minute to give that massive, humongous away goal. And look, Atleti have Werner the Burner on the bench. That was a pretty good signing. Let's see what happens in the second leg. I truly don't know if I did the right thing here, Booyah Nation, but I decided to go into a 4-4-2 with Agüero and Gabriel Jesus up top. And the reason for this is because we barely, he scored, but we barely beat or tied to Atleti. We tied in the 90th minute. If we didn't get that goal, we were pretty much putting ourselves in a big hole going into the second leg. So I decided to go into a 4-4-2. Company still out due to injury. Laporte is back, which is nice. If we keep it like this, we are through. If they score, we go to extra time. But if they score twice, we need to win 3-2. It's a disaster. Gabriel Jesus finds a second, and Atletico Madrid are out of the Champions League, and Man City is reaching the final. And this is what we're here for. This is why we're doing the rebuild. And what's insane is that we actually just reached the final with moves they actually want to make in real life. So I did nothing. All I did was make the moves that Man City possibly could make in real life, and it's getting them to the final of the Champions League. And they are ahead of Chelsea by a few points as well, about to win the Premier League. There's not really much to like that. I don't have to hype this up, do I? England, Germany, Champions League final, Man City, Bayern. England team trying to get their name back on that trophy. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get their name back there. Liverpool got very close this year, but didn't make it happen. I'm back in the 4-3-3, which is kind of stupid on my part. In the 4-4-2, Gabriel Jesus bagged 2, which beat Atletico Madrid, which got us to the final of the Champions League. We're going up against Lewandowski, Ribery, Vidal, Martinez, Robin, Casemiro. Oh my gosh. They bought Casemiro from... Thank you, Kevin De Bruyne. I guess the money that we did with Thiago, the 100 million, they bought Casemiro. Come on, Robin. They hit right back in the 43rd minute. We have no company due to injury, and is that going to be bad for us? Lewandowski scores again. We cannot stare at Kevin De Bruyne with the second. Kevin De Bruyne with the second. We're going to extra time. Please, Kevin, get a hat trick. Somebody show up. Kevin De Bruyne gets a hat trick. Kevin De Bruyne gets a hat trick. 2-3. Kevin De Bruyne gets a hat trick. Bang, boys! Kevin De Bruyne. Oh my goodness, the Belgian couldn't do it in the World Cup with Belgium, but he turns around and puts Man City on his back and scores 3 goals. It gets us to extra time, then scores the penalty that wins it. And I know the glory of this series wasn't the Premier League, because this rebuild, they won the Premier League last year by a bunch of points, and they've done it again. As you can see, they win it by like 8 points or something like that. 93-85. They got 93 points. We only lost 3 games with 6 draws. This team was already a mega team. This team was already had their glory, their beastly glory and all that. All we did was get them that Champions League. And from what the moves, what EA says, from what FIFA says, the moves that Guardiola wants to make, picking up Thiago, which is he really wants, or Kovacic, I don't know if he wants both or one or the other. That could be the ones. EA says that will get them the Champions League. What do you say in the comments down below? And before we end, please let me know in the comments down below what team is next. And beside whatever team you want, let me know what player you want me to sign as well. That's the Man City rebuild. And we're not done just yet. Let me show you the top goal scorers as well. And let me show you all the competitions, all right? In the Premier League, we win it, Man City. In the FA Cup, Watford beats Manchester United. Let that sink in. Shout out to all my Watford fans. You knock off Man United, who knocked out Man City. We move on into the Capital One Cup, and we win 4-1 against Wolves. Big win for Man City. Champions League 3-2. Big win for Man City. They only lost 1 competition. The Europa League, Europe is English. Europe is English. Not only was the Europa League final Man United versus Liverpool, but it's 3 English teams in all the finals, and the final both trophies came back to England. So shout out to Manchester United, who knocked off Liverpool in the final of the Europa League. Top goal scorers, Mane's gonna win the Premier League. Kevin De Bruyne comes up second, and then Leroy Sané and Gabriel Jesus. And Gabriel Jesus wasn't even a starter, bro. Let that sink in. That man had 11. He didn't even start. We move on to see who the top assist man won. It was Hazard, and then Ronaldo Hazard with 11. We go over to the next competition, which should be probably the Capital One Cup. No, it's the FA Cup, where Agüero bagged 5. Top goal scorer was Hazard, but the Watford Hazard, and then Silva. We move on to the next competition. This is the Capital One. We got Kevin De Bruyne with 5, and then top assist man is Morrison with 3. The next competition, the Champions League. Kevin De Bruyne with 7 assists in the Champions League and 7 goals because he got that hat trick. Thiago was the top goal scorer in the Champions League, but because of that hat trick, Kevin De Bruyne gets the top goal scorer and the top assist man. Yo, that guy could get the Ballon d'Or the way it's looking, baby. Yo, I hope you guys enjoy this Man City rebuild. Please let me know in the comments down below what team is next. It only took one season to bring Man City glory, and their glory was obviously in the Champions League. Thiago and Kovacic were the difference for this team. Thiago had 6 goals in the Champions League, 100 mil well spent, and Kovacic with some clutch goals as well. Yo, I'm gonna catch you guys right here next time, probably tomorrow for a draft. But then after that, what's the next rebuild, baby? Y'all let me know. I love your faces. Big thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe. Booyah. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy 889 Skills, and welcome back to the draft. I'm here with the king, the draft, the glory, King of Roni, the Penfest, the beast. Link down below. Why you just staring? Stop that. Hey, wake up, buddy. Wake up. You good? Hey, wake up. Hey, yo, come on. Hey, drop a thumbs up to get his staring back.
Drop a thumb. What's up?
Hey,
what happened?
Whoa, why'd you go 3 back? Whoa, big things, big things, big things. Welcome back to the draft. I'm here with the King of Roni from the Draft to Glory. What do you do here? This is big Roni, man.
Messi is ratings, but Ronaldinho offers so much.
Yeah, he offers you greatness. He offers you links.
You know what? I'm gonna pop that, dude.
Wow, that's surprising. You usually go for the rating. You gotta get next to the mic, dog. You got.
Yo, my bad, G's.
Over. You just gotta get up in here. Get up in here.
Yo, he's taking up all the room and stuff, guys. I can't even get my legs in.
Hey, that's a fat joke. That's a
Yo, Jekko though.
Hey man, welcome back. Today we're gonna be doing 2v2s. You guys really? Can you get off my wire, bro? Can you get your fat foot off my wire?
Do we take that Hazard or do we wait? See, this is a weird one. Me personally, I would now go with Dybala.
Yeah.
You never see his high rated cards pop, but that had